Hello guys and welcome back to another Traitors video, and today we're going to be counting down the top 10 most shocking moments from season 2 of the Traitors. And I know what you're thinking, he's milking this Traitors comment, and I know what you're thinking, he's milking this Traitors content. And yes, that's exactly what I'm doing, because Apprentice doesn't start until Thursday, so I gotta come up with video ideas, guys. It's not easy being a creative. I'm constantly thinking about new ideas, but I have wanted to do this because season 2 was full of twists and turns. There were so many cool moments, there were so many shocking decisions, there were so many moments that made me gasp, want to cry, want to throw something at the TV. This was genuinely a season of reality TV to remember, and I gotta say, it was incredibly good from start to finish. There was not a single dull moment, not a single dull episode. Every single episode had something to keep you going, keep you fed, keep you full. So without much further ado, let's jump straight into the countdown. At number 10 we have Sonia being voted out first. Now, when I saw the lineup, I really thought Sonia was going to be a huge part of this series. Even from the first episode, when she was shooting those portraits, she came up to Ash the next day and was like, "Are you a traitor?" I thought she was going to be an iconic presence throughout the series. I thought she was going to have so many hilarious moments, so many great confessionals. But after one episode, or maybe I think it was 2 episodes, she was voted out because she was a little bit too full on and trying to play the game straight away from the start. I cannot tell you how gutted I was when she got eliminated, because we missed out on so many cool moments. I am fuming. I can't believe it. I really can't, because she was so funny and brought a presence to the room, and they all voted her out. Oh my goodness, it was a tough start to the series, a tough pill to swallow, but alas, hopefully we'll see her again on an All-Stars season, if that ever does become an eventuality. I think it would be cool to have people who've already played the game come back and play again, just because I think that would be fascinating to watch. But yeah, sadly, Sonia did not survive the first banishment. Hey, you, I know you're not subscribed. So make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying. I'm trying to get to 500, trying to get to 1,000 really, but I want to try and get there with the support of you guys. Gotta make sure you're subscribing, getting that subscriber count up and up and up and up. So if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. Thanks, guys. At number 9, we have Andrew being saved by the team instead of Paul. So I need you to cast your mind back to Paul's foolproof plan to put 2 traitors in the dungeon along with Meg and Andrew. Everything about that plan was flawed from the moment it started to the moment it ended. I was in shock that he decided to put 2 traitors in there, one of them being himself, and then the whole plan was riding on the fact that the team voted him most popular, so therefore would want to save him when the time came to save someone. What sort of a plan's that? That's completely outside of your control, especially because Harry and Miles were trying to rig it from the other end, but their team didn't even win, so it was just up to a bunch of faithful to decide who should be saved from the dungeon, and they ended up going with Anthony, and then it fucked the game up a little bit for Paul, because next day when Ash had been voted out and Meg had been killed, he walked back in and everyone was like, "Huh? What? Why are you back here? What's going on? What's happening here?" It was definitely one of the moments that caused the collapse of Paul, but sadly it wouldn't be the last. At number 8, we have Brian's breakdown. I cannot tell you what was going through Brian's head during that round table. There were so many moments in that round table that made me go, "Brian, hun, Brian, are you okay? What's going on? You're having a bit of a meltdown here." And he was just so overwhelmed. And I don't even remember why he was suspicious in the first place, or why people were suspicious of him in the first place. And it was only when Claudia was like, oh, it's time to, anyway, no, actually, can I just have a second? Like, who's actually voting for me here? Because I don't know what to put on my slate. And, like, I know this is really, really selfish of me, but, like, I need to know you guys aren't going to vote for me. What? His whole breakdown was the reason why he went home. If he'd have just shut the fuck up for, like, 5 minutes, I really do think he would have made it further in the game. I was in awe because I was like, how have you fumbled the ball so badly? In like a very respectful way. I did find Brian very entertaining. But in a very respectful way, how did you fumble the ball so badly? Some people aren't cut out for this game. At number 7, we have Paul turning on Miles. Now, the reason why this isn't further up in the list is because I kind of saw it coming, if I'm being honest. From the moment that Miles gave the drink to Diane, I was like, this is going to come back to bite Miles in the backside. And then as soon as Paul mentioned his name, I was like, yeah, it's going to be Paul versus Miles at the round table. And I got to say, this shocking, dramatic, like, clash at the round table was fascinating to watch. There were so many good moments, so many moments that made me go, wow. Like, I was watching Traitors with a friend, and they were like, is this scripted? And I went, if it isn't, this is the best TV show you've ever watched. If this is, this show has the best writers and actors that you will ever watch. And that's what I said. Genuinely, this was one of those moments where you couldn't script it. It's just real people going at each other's throats. And Miles brought up some very good points about Paul. And Paul brought up some very good points about Miles. And then there was Harry sitting there going, do you think this is just two traitors going up against each other? And Zach nodding. This round table had everything. It was incredible. Genuinely, you could not want for a better round table than this. For number 6, we are jumping ahead to the final. And I gotta say, the final was crazy for a number of reasons, but the reason that is on this list in this spot is Andrew turning on Harry with no remorse whatsoever. He had been planting seeds, going hard at Harry after Evie was voted out, so we knew it was coming, but the way in which he did it was brutal. Absolutely brutal. And it ended up working against Andrew in the long run. He completely fumbled his game because he voted for Harry and that made people suspicious of him. It was a tough one because if he'd have just stuck with the plan that Harry said and actually trusted Harry, they could have won together. And it's a shame because Andrew had been playing a really, really good game up until that point. And then he just made one silly error. Gone. Bye-bye. That's it. That's the game. That's how it's played. You don't hate the hater. No, don't hate the player. Hate the game. Okay? It's tough. But yeah, that was definitely a very, very shocking moment when he just turned it around on Harry and was like, yeah, I think you're a traitor. You, man. Traitor. Tough. It is really tough because you think, wow, okay. They are so close to winning this. All they have to do is stick together. Yeah, that wasn't going to happen, was it? Now, for number 5, I've got a little bit of a controversial one. I don't know whether this one will be as shocking to you guys as it was to me, but Evie blatantly lying because she didn't believe Paul was genuinely one of the more shocking reasons, like why this season was so crazy. This happened during Miles's trial. And Paul's whole thing was, Diane's last words were, if I die, it's Miles. He handed me the drink. Evie was there. She heard it. She heard Diane's final words. And Evie just turned around and went, I mean, I heard the words like Miles and Evie, but like I didn't hear anything that she said. Blatant lie, because she came out on Twitter and was like, yo, I was lying there because I didn't buy into Paul's thing. The fact that Paul was... She said this in the finale of The Uncloaked. She said, I was listening to Paul, question Diane, and like quiz her and get her to repeat it over and over again. And it made me really, really suspicious, because I thought he was trying to prize information out of her and get her to say something so he could use it later on. Evie in that moment proved to me why she was on this series. She proved that she is a valuable asset to the team, and she is good at the game. So good at the game. When she suspected Paul and was like, "Now I'm gonna lie and make him seem guilty," boss bitch. Absolutely love her. She's so incredible. So yeah, number 5 was obviously Evie lying about what Diane said, because obviously she heard it. She was there. I think Diane literally said it to Evie, and Paul was just there, and then Paul was like questioning her on it later. Don't miss a trick, that lady, does she? At number 4, we have Diane still being alive. I feel like episode 7 had a lot of crazy twists and turns, because so far 3 of the things on this list have been from episode 7, which is absolutely crazy. The reason why is because it started with obviously the poison chalice. Diane drank from the poison chalice. Sad, but we knew it was going to happen. There was no way she was getting out of that unless she was like really sort of like, oh, this must be poison. But I don't think she would have got that at all. But the next day she turned up to breakfast, and we had the hilarious meme of Miles going, "Hi, hello, how are you? This bitch is meant to be dead. I killed her last night." It was so funny. And then the other like shocking thing that I'm adding on to this is the fact that we had to watch Diane attend her own funeral and then watch her son throw a rose in the coffin. The whole thing was so needlessly dramatic, but it made one of the best episodes of a reality show I've ever seen in my whole life. It was perfection, and it started with Diane just being alive. I really expected her to die that night, like with the kiss of death that happened in the previous series. I did not expect her to turn up to breakfast and then have to attend her own funeral. What sort of a cruel show is this? At number 3, still concerning Diane, we have the iconic reveal that Diane is Ross's mum. I cannot tell you, I was sat with my friend, right? No, actually I wasn't. This was the episode I watched on my own. So I watched the first 2 with my friend, third one alone, because she had to go to bed, and I was like, well, I'm gonna watch it. I watched that episode, and when Paul was like, oh, to Diane, oh, Jazz is saying, or I can't remember who it was. Was it Jazz or was it Zach? Zach saying that I think that that he thinks that you're my mum, because obviously we have a similar hair colour, etc, etc. And Diane's like laughing off, ha 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 ha. And then in a confessional, she goes, oh, Paul couldn't be my son, but Ross is. And then like almost like it was a Saw twist. Like you could almost hear the do 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 just in the background. Do do do. I was like, oh my god, this is some next level mind-blowing bullshit. Because in the first series, they really made it clear from the start that Tom and Alex were boyfriend and girlfriend. And so, like, when that was revealed, yes, the scene was dramatic, but it wasn't shocking. Because we knew it already. It was with us from the start. But with this reveal, 3 episodes in was when we found out. 3 episodes. How mental and wild. I genuinely didn't expect it. And the fact that it was Ross as well. Out of everyone, I don't think I would have expected that. But it led to one of the best storylines of the whole series. The little wink from Ross to the camera later on. The whole sort of funeral scene. Oh, Diane is an absolute queen. Also, I found out she's a drama teacher from Twitter. So I don't know how true it is. But like, it would make a lot of sense. And it would explain a lot of things. So yeah. That was definitely a fabulous moment. Coming in at number 2, just shy of the first place, we have Molly changing her vote. Guys, I don't think she's ever going to live it down. Big love to that girl, because It was a tough game. It really was. Harry did play a blinder. I've seen a lot of discussion online about whether Harry deserved to win or not. Here's what I'll say on it. Harry did not get lucky. He got lucky in the final because obviously she changed her vote. But he did not get lucky throughout the process. The only person that remotely had a sort of question about him was Jazz. And that was because of something that Paul did, not because of something that Harry did. So, well, I guess by extension it was Harry. But it was Paul's fuck up that led to Harry being suspected. He played a flawless game. That shield trick was incredible. It would have fooled me if I was in the game. So the fact that she changed her vote because she genuinely couldn't vote for Harry is absolutely fair and valid in my opinion. Absolutely fair and valid. What do you mean? What do you mean? I can't believe this. Honestly. Right. And our number one shocking moment was the moment where Harry turned on Paul and brought his game crashing down. This was something I didn't expect to see. I expected the faithful to work out that Paul was sort of a bad guy, a traitor, my bad. But they really struggled to put the connections between him surviving the dungeon to the fact that he's a traitor. They really struggled to connect those dots. So Harry just lended them a helping hand and basically laid out the plan as it happened and was like, I think this is exactly what happened. What do you say to this? And Paul just crumbled. Tried to pin it on Jazz, of all people, which was a bit crazy. And honestly, Paul's game in that moment came crashing down, and that was the most shocking thing to me. Episodes 1 and 2, I thought Paul was going to win this. I still can't believe that Harry turned on him. That was the single most shocking moment of the series. But my God, was it dramatic and juicy. It was glorious. And it was all because Paul just happened to mention Harry's name in the car. Harry was like, right, that's it. You're gone. So guys, thank you guys very, very much for watching. And I do appreciate you guys sticking around for the Traitors content. If you liked what you saw, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Do all that YouTube stuff that you guys do so well. And I will see you guys in the next episode of whatever I do. It'll be a surprise tomorrow, let's be honest. I might do a little breakdown of why Harry deserved to win. I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling. But for now, keep on ranting, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.